tell you this. In these territories, men will come try you. They will take from you until you are wiped clean from this land.
And watching this movie, I'm thinking to myself, there is no way you could get any sleep out in the Old West because you're constantly on edge. There's this constant unknown presence that never seems to go away. But I get the sense that you, taking yet another big risk with this project, are fairly comfortable with the unknown. And I'm wondering if I'm right. And at what point did you become at peace with sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen, and I'm okay with it?
Well, I think you characterize what the frontier was like. It's not a land in Disneyland, right? It was real. And it was that precarious for 200-300 years. It really was. When you decided to leave city life, you were dealing in the elements. Sometimes you weren't equipped. In this particular instance, people were coming based on a promise of something being there, and it just simply wasn't there. So I think you're taking all the right things from it. I wish life was more certain for me. I'm not begging for a fight. But I can't walk away from what moves me. I just saw 2 days ago as I finished it, and it just doesn't get easier. And I'm not talking about the movie making part. That in itself was rough, but for the people, it gets harder. And I hope that's entertaining to you in a way.
Well, it's interesting. I know you've talked a lot about the female characters, and I agree with you. There are some great ones, but the ones that I can't stop thinking about, honestly, are the children. And in particular, a young actor who shows up several times throughout the movie. He's lost so much. At one point, there's this incredible scene where he's basically being told to murder a Native American. And on top of that, when his son shows up, try to get both of them. And I just wonder in two, I'm assuming because we're products of our environment, I can't imagine. I'm so curious. In other words, I'm so curious to find out what happens to him. That's basically what I'm saying.
You're totally onto it because he does start off an innocent. But like, if anything, if our inner city where we can become a product of it, and he will go to that place, it gets harder. But he was being goaded by men into a game. And I love that you seized on the word. See if you can get them both.
Yeah.
I don't know how that scene made you feel, but
I was horrified, and it was there again. There are so many. 4 minutes obviously doesn't do this movie justice in any way. So I appreciate any time you're giving me, and I'll have to just let moviegoers see this, and you'll see him throughout. And I can't wait to find out what happens to him in chapter 2. But I'm wondering, because of the hardships that everybody had to deal with, and you've shot so many of these films, in a weird way, does this affect your friendships? Because at an age where, our kids are addicted to their phones, where they really don't know the kind of hardships that everybody in Westerns knew, has this affected how you feel about, somebody coming to you with a bad day and you're thinking, trust me, I just got off the set of this. You don't even know what a bad day is.
you have a pretty good grasp of just environment around you and perhaps even mine. I don't know where you get that kind of perception, but I don't know. I'm lucky to do what I do. What kids do now, I don't know. But, it's important for me to have my eyes open and also be true to myself and my own storytelling. And so I make films for myself that I think are going to translate to men and women. And one of the hallmarks, I hope, of my career when people look back on it is, the reality is I make movies for men. But what I've always done is make sure that women are really important in my movies. And I think that's been something. It's just odd that they would become so dominant in Horizon, because I have these scenes that are not rushing to a gunfight. A woman trying to bathe just because she feels so filthy, and the feel of water and the problems that creates, that was really honestly just as important as my gunfight.
Well, can I just add something quickly? That woman is so beautiful, that actress, that she still looked fantastic, dirty in the Old West, not having
her and
bathed.
Sienna, it didn't matter how much dirt I put on them, but yeah, that little girl with Ella Hunt is like our generation's Hepburn. She's got that Audrey Hepburn neck, the whole thing.
100%. When I wake up, I look like 10 miles of bad road. I don't know if that's a phrase from the Old West, but that's how I look.
I'm not going to let you say that. That's not true.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you for betting on yourself. And thank you for showing your kids and everybody else that it's great to just do what you love to do.
Thank you.
You be careful. Someone's going to take that gun and wrap you with it.
What? We talked enough.